Hey guys, what's up? Cledus Judd back with another rendition of Straight to the Point for Recovery Point, a video podcast that we're doing. And man, first of all, I just want to say thanks so much to everyone that has clicked the like button and share button on the Recovery Point page. You know, we're trying to grow that page because the bigger that page is, the more people will be exposed to it, the more people can see these stories that like we brought you for the last month or so. And from the comments, people are viewing it. I think when we first started about a month ago, we were at the page was around 12,500 people viewing the page, following the page, and now we're up over 15,000. So that's just a testament to one, these great people that are willing to come on and talk to us and give me and you guys their story in hopes that other people don't always go down the same path as the three of us have been down. And so we genuinely appreciate that. And before I introduce these guys, I got to say that we got Jeremy over here to the left, Walt right here. And one thing that I noticed, guys, before I let you do your own introduction, and that I noticed is when we were all over here aggravating before the cameras are rolling, I heard a lot of laughter. Saw a lot of smiles, aggravating one another. Feels good to laugh, don't it?
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
There's probably a time in all of our lives, especially y'all's lives as well, that the laughter was few and far between, don't you think?
Yeah, very much for me.
And how about you, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been through miserable times for sure.
I've gotten to know both of these guys. If I didn't get Walt on one of these, he done threatened to whoop me. So you don't want another this D1 prospect right here. He looks like he can still go play some football somewhere, and we're going to talk about that story soon. I'm going to start with Jeremy over here first. Jeremy actually has went through the program several times.
Yeah.
Didn't complete it. How many times you go through?
3 altogether. I didn't complete the first 2 times and completed this last time. Started working there.
Now he's employed there. And if you want to try to get back to where all we hang out at, you got to go through him. Now he looks like a skinny little boy. He'll pop that noggin if you come in there and try to go through those doors and not go through him first. But Jeremy, I'll start with you, man. As I gave you a ride home the other day, and as we were talking, you sent me your story on Facebook, and last night I had a chance to sit down and read it. And as I was telling you earlier, there just seems to be a theme, and I'm gonna find out from Walt if it's kind of with him as well. But your story kind of started out, younger, didn't feel like you were fitting in grammar school, middle school, got involved with the out crowd is what I call them, because they're definitely not the in crowd. But tell the people at home a little bit about your story and what you sent me on that text.
Okay. My journey into addiction started when I was 15. Started with weed, of course, and the reason it began that way is, I'll say this, going through elementary school, my parents divorced, and I was kind of a daddy's boy, and just he wasn't seeing him hardly ever anymore, and that was taking a toll on me.
Sure.
Started at a new school, moved to a new place. When my mom remarried, and was having a tough time, I got made fun of, a lot of things, and I kind of felt alone in the world.
Got it.
And my journey into addiction started with weed, smoking it for the first time because I kind of wanted to be accepted.
Right.
And also, I'd also been curious for a little while too.
And I'd asked you earlier, I said, once you started, did you know that it was on from there? And you said, well, not necessarily at that time. It took a little while to get to the part where it escalates into the bad stuff, huh?
Yeah. It started out with weed and then went to alcohol. And it was like right from the get-go. Every time I would drink, it was just out of control. My drinking's never been manageable.
Never could sit down, just have a couple and watch a football game and put it down.
I never did see the point just drinking a couple.
Right.
I was always drinking to get obliterated.
Right. And then it escalates from there.
It escalated from that to pills, and started using with a needle when I was 24 at a younger kind of age.
And let's take, for the people at home that aren't as, I never been around the needle, never saw it, by the grace of God, knew people that did. But do you remember the first time?
I do.
The first time. Not talking about the elation that I'm sure the high gives you, as it gives all of us, but in the back of your mind, before you popped that thing in your arm, did you think, man, what in the hell am I doing? Or did you care at that point?
I did care. Before the first time, the girl I was with, I'd been with her for a while. She had been using a needle, and I was just never into it. I didn't like her doing it.
Right.
But I got my income tax back one year and spent thousands on pills, and we were down to the last couple ones we had, and
that's when it began.
That's when it began. Ever since that first time, that's how I liked doing it. Ever since that first time.
Well, hold that thought right there, because I want to jump over and talk to my man Walt here, buddy. Thank you for coming on here with me. Tell me a little bit about your story, Walt. And I'm going to tell the people at home, like I said, this dude right here, from the minute I met him, has been nothing but kind. He got one of the best, brightest smiles you can imagine. And he still thinks he can take me in basketball. So I went and got a brand new basketball, go and put it over Recovery Point. So we'll be videotaping that at some point, and we'll let you see who wins. I imagine he's going to win, but it is going to be a lot of fun. But Walt, tell the people at home a little bit about your story. I know some of it later on in life, and we're going to get to that, because it's some of it is inspiring. Now, I'm sure some of it is heartbreak for you looking back. You're talking about a D1 prospect here, signed a Division I scholarship with Ohio State to play football. But before we get to that point, man, what was your childhood like? Was good, bad, indifferent? Did that contribute to what happened later on in life?
Well, my grandmother took care of us. Like my mom, my dad. They was always around. I played sports all my life. So like I was raised up in a good family. At 5 years old, I was woke up, made go to church. I was in the church, done all the things that a good life would teach you.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
Like, then once I got to getting up in the age, it kind of started withering off a little bit. In my area, there's a lot of drugs, so and my cousins was up above me. I started hanging out with them a whole lot and start running around with them a whole lot. So I got into wanting, that fast money.
Oh yeah, the money.
Yeah, the money was a real thing when I was growing up.
Which one was? Did you like the money or the dope? Which one you like better?
It was money.
Money. That's what everybody usually says when they starts out. Is all about the money.
Yeah, I never done any drugs until I got to the age of probably about 13. So
13.
Yeah, I started smoking weed. I didn't touch nothing else. Then once I got probably past 13, I started dibbing and dabbing in the pain pills every once in a while,
What, in high school, man, if you started so I'd say 13, you was 7th, 8th grade, somewhere along there, but once you got to high school, being an athlete and that sort of thing, were you still playing all the sports and still dabbling in the drugs as well?
Oh yeah, honestly, being at the school that I was, it was a known thing for a good athlete to do the drugs. It was fine and dandy,
As long as you was producing on the field, they didn't say nothing, right?
No, they didn't say nothing. They didn't care.
As long as you could run a 4.240, you was in good shape.
Oh yeah, As long as I could produce and make that school look good.
Yeah,
it was fine with them.
How did you function at that level of being a D1 prospect and still being under the influence of? And were you selling at the time?
Yeah.
Did you? Even in high school, selling and so forth.
Yeah.
How did
it was more or less of me selling, steady. Not using it. I might have used a pill or something if my ankles or my legs, my back or something like that would hurt. like I didn't think it was a addiction then, you know.
At that time.
At that time, it wasn't really addiction, you know what I mean? But as farther along it got going, I seen myself getting up into more and more and more.
Right.
You know.
What did it escalate to from pills? Did it go any further than pills? Crack?
Yeah, I've done it. I've done all of it.
Right.
I've done every last bit of it. But it took a long time for me to progress into the crack. I smoked crack. I snorted cocaine when my senior year of high school. You know, like most of the kids in school loved being around me. You know, I was the center of attraction. You know, so like it was a great thing. I guess at the time I thought it was,
right.
At the time
Looking
I thought
back,
it was great. Yeah.
you know, you probably done things different as most of us would.
Oh yeah.
With that being said, you know, now you playing football, letters coming in, you know, and next thing you know, you find yourself with a full ride. You know, man, it's hard to get a full ride to the bus station. What happened at Ohio State? Because every kid like yourself dreams of being able to go play D1 football, especially for somewhere at Ohio State. So what happened when you got there?
Well, I mean, I went to spring training. We got to spring training. I done everything I could do. I mean, like I showed up, practiced, done what I was supposed to do in practice. And at the point, at the first early stage, I would have been the second or the third DB strong safety to play.
Right.
So I would have been probably redshirted. Well, the first two practices, the guy that was in front of me got hurt. So it bumped me up to being the second person. Well, by the time at the spring training, we had our first scrimmage game, and the guy that was in front of me got hurt too.
Oh Lord!
So now I'm the person to step on the field, and I guess I learning from going back from high school, thinking that the coaches and all that stuff didn't give two shits.
I got you.
So I come back. We had a scrimmage game the next week. I come back to practice. I had went home to bring more drugs back to Logan, you know.
Right.
Doing my thing. When I got back, I'd been smoking weed. Didn't know that they would test for it or nothing like that. And when I got back, they test all the guys for the game that week.
Yeah.
And when I failed the drug test, they didn't kick me off. They redshirted me. Well, I thought, wasn't no use to being redshirted. I'm the only guy in line. They're gonna let me by with it, and they didn't.
Yeah. Once
So
you
they
get to that
redshirted.
level, they don't play, do they?
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, it's the point that the guy that behind you, he's just as good as you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that kind of hurt me a little bit, you know. So I fell back I left college, come back home, and got back into the game I was in.
And you said, we were talking just a minute ago, I mean, here's a guy that went from a D1 school, full ride scholarship, probably won't cost you a nickel to play football, get a good education, and then find yourself in prison.
No, I didn't go to prison right when I first got out. When I first got back home, I worked, done everything. Me and my uncle, we started a business. You know, I worked every day. I got a job when I first came back for the state.
Yeah.
For State Road, working with my dad. I got to go to work with my dad every day. You know, I was there for a year, working with my dad. I got a bossing job. Well, as that comes with the bossing job, you can do what you want to do.
Right.
And they had a lot of college kids that was up underneath me that was coming there and working during the summer, that they gave me that bossing job, and well, we got caught smoking weed.
That weed's been a problem.
Yes.
So tell me, before we go back to Jeremy a little bit, so tell me how you went from that job, you go from college to that job, and then as you were telling me over there, you know, what led you to getting that big door shut on you? How did you get to that point?
That job.
Yeah.
When I lost that job, I didn't have nothing to go back to. You know, I just had a kid, you know, living out in the country, you know. And then I started selling drugs again. You know, once I started selling drugs, I got back into the atmosphere, and then I started using a whole lot more than what I was supposed to. You know,
Gotcha.
At one point in time, I woke up in the middle of the night. Me and my wife at the time and my son was laying in the bed, and I had my arm laid over on the side of the bed, and I kept feeling something drip on my arm. I said, man, what's that on my arm? I'm thinking it's a bug or something on my arm.
Right.
Well, I woke up, turned the light on. When I turned the light on, my whole arm was blood red. From my nose, where I had snorted so much cocaine the night before, it ate a hole through my nose on the inside, and it was bad.
I can imagine.
And I didn't want to go to the hospital at the time. My wife kept telling me, well, we want to take you to the hospital. No, you're not going to take me to the hospital. If I have to, I got enough money. We'll go buy no toilet paper till I can get this stopped.
Oh, Lord.
You know,
Oh, Lord.
It took a day and a half for me to get it to stop. You know, then after that, like probably a year after that, I ended up getting locked up. One of my some people that I had let live with me and my wife and my kids, I let them come in. They didn't have nowhere to stay. I let them come in, and I was giving them drugs to sell to make sure they had some money in their pocket and stuff. Well, they ended up wearing a wire on me, sending me to prison. I went to prison, do a 2 to 20, and I done almost all 10 of them years from just being an addict. You know, couldn't pass no piss test or nothing like that.
Man, you know, you would, and I ask this question every time, none of those bad decisions that you made, because you seem like an incredibly smart man, and I mean that, none of those decisions those bad decisions that you made, you would have ever made had you not been probably under the influence of the drug.
No, I would have probably never made that decision at all.
Right.
You know, I probably would have started my own business. You know, I had enough money to do that, you know.
Well, let me tell you this. How old are you?
I'm 40.
You've been at Recovery Point how long?
I've been at Recovery Point for about a month and 45 days.
How's it going? Honestly.
It's great. I love that place. You know, I wouldn't ask for another better place. I've been to rehab before and completed it, stayed sober for 2 years, but I didn't know none of the things that keep me sober, you know, keep me clean.
Well said there, yeah.
Like, and this place is teaching me ways to manage my life, you know. That's what takes for, I guess, us addicts to, you know, make it for ourselves, ain't it, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like, we going to rehab and going in and out of them places, it's great, but what can we learn from the mistakes we made?
Yeah, when I went into my first rehab, I stayed 3 days, you know, because all they did was, I felt, it was at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, and all they did the first 3 days I was there is show film strips and projections of dope and cocaine, and I'm thinking, man, that's what I'm trying to get away from. I don't want to see this, you know, so I bolted. You know, I wasn't ready to get help at that time, you know, but it's you were talking about you would have probably owned your own business. Well, I'm gonna tell you, at 40, the first thing you gotta do is take care of yourself. You're a smart dude. I'm gonna tell you, that smile light up a room, and you are absolutely not too old. None of us are ever too old in life. You know, every day God gives us a breath, we're able to start anew and make amends for our wrongdoing. And the main thing is stay in recovery, learn what Recovery Point has to teach you, and once you finish the process, take your time. Ain't nothing says you can't start you another business.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that can be disciplined enough to play sports, anybody that can be disciplined enough to go through that program, because I wasn't familiar as much with it ain't easy, I'll tell you.
Oh.
I didn't watch what's happened over the last week, you know, lockdowns and all this stuff. I can understand. I can see how somebody go, you know what, the hell with this, I'm gone. I'd rather be out on the streets and go through this. But it's like they say, only the strong survive. And when you get done with this program, and you will complete it, because I know you will complete it, they're going to be great things in your life. I guarantee you, if you can manage to go through this program and learn the discipline that it'll teach you, it ain't going to be easy. There's going to be days you're going to call me up and go, look here, Hoss, you need to come down here. We got to talk. And I will, you know, I'll always be there for you. But I can guarantee you, if God lets me live another couple of years, there'll come a time when Walt going to have his name on his own shirt right there. And you're going to have people working for you. I believe that in my heart. I swear to God I do.
Oh yeah, that's one of my main goals. But like I said, Recovery Point has done a whole lot. Just the month that I've been there, like, it's changed a lot of things in my life. A lot of, you know, being able to count on the guys and the staff that's there, I mean, it's excellent, man.
It's all about that accountability
Yes,
too. Well, they
yes.
talk a lot about accountability. You know, having to tell on somebody. You know, and Joe, you know, the mayor down there. You know, I always see how he relates. Okay, there's a difference in ratting somebody out than holding your brother accountable. You know,
there's a difference.
Again, like he said the other day, man, you would hate to know that Jeremy brought dope in, knowing you was doing the dope, and you didn't go say something to somebody, and then him lose his life when there ain't no shot of Narcan in his leg or something.
Oh yeah.
Then you would feel responsible. So,
Yeah, see, like that happened her what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Like the guys that done it, I never thought would, you know what I mean? In my mind, you know, I talk to them guys every day. I talk to everybody every day down there.
I know.
So like, and I wasn't there, you know. So when I came home and they tell me them guys is gone, like I'm kind of lost, you know what I mean? Like, God, dog, I'm some boys I used to, boys I used to talk to, you know what I mean? I used to hold conversations with them. It's hard, you know. It's hard for a lot of us down there because we get real close to each other down there. So like being down there with each other and we lose brothers like that, it's hard for us, you know. That's probably one of the mainest things down there. But that, like I said, the staff keep us together, you know, and that's the main
Well,
goal.
I do think, and then we'll jump back on Jeremy, and then we'll wrap this thing up. But I can honestly say, like when you see stuff posted like on Huntington 911, and Jeremy knows I get pissed off when I read these things because it's so easy for the general population, and I call them armchair drug counselors. You know, it's just like, you know, when we talking about football, it's easy for me to sit at home and go, I can't believe that Trevor Lawrence threw that pass to that dude knowing it was going to get intercepted. Well, it's easy when you lay back drinking a beer, watching a football game, eating a hot dog, and you can dictate what you think should be done. So then I read all this stuff on these posts on Facebook. Oh, they do this. The recovery point don't do this. Recovery point don't do that. I tell you what. Go fill out an application.
Come
on down. If you can fix all these problems that we all deal with on a daily basis, we welcome you to fill out that application. Because if you can solve all this, I know you take the application.
And I'll say this, like that this is a rehab where drug addicts are there. People smuggle drugs into jail.
Absolutely.
People are going to do it in rehabs. It's never going to stop. It's always going to be a thing. We do our absolute best to, you know, keep a tight ship running. But, you know, things happen.
Oh. You know, that's another thing about it. You know, they down they down in the rehabs, but there is a thing. I know it's probably been on posted. It's more drugs in the jails, in the institutions around here than they are on the street. Really.
I got a buddy of mine I was telling you about. He said, "Man, if I got money on my books, I can get whatever I need down here. It don't matter. I can get anything, whether it's heroin, dope, cocaine, meth. If I got money, I can get it. And there's no way you can stop it. You try to minimalize it, of course, but." To a point you're talking about, you know, when the boys got gone, you know, one of the guys that was talking to me about the basketball goal that morning, that Sunday when I came and hung out, I was telling him I was going to bring a goal tomorrow. And he's like, man, bring that thing. We can get some games, you know, we play some. It's just good for the soul, you know, to be able outside and shoot a little ball and talk a little smack. And I come in Monday, and the very guy that wanted that basketball goal is the very guy, one of the three, the guy walked out of there. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't give a flip about the basketball goal, but it hurt my heart. Yeah. Because the day before, that guy probably had no intention of going down that road that he was about to go on. Yeah. And next thing you know, man, it just goes to hell in a handbasket in less than 10 seconds.
That early into recovery, if somebody's got dope in front of your face,
it's very hard.
It's going to be very hard to turn it down.
So I want to finish up with you, Jeremy. You had said something in the text that you sent me about it was either suicide.
Oh yeah.
Or it's just time to hang it up.
Before I get to that part, I want to say this. I started shooting up the pills, and from there I did that for years, and I had to have a surgery because of it.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
had to take the artery out of my leg and put it in my arm right here. Because I had messed up my artery. And when I got to the hospital, the way this happened, it happened, and it was a week and a half later when I finally went to the hospital because I was in so much pain and my arm had started bleeding. I went to the hospital. I'm 170 pounds now. When I got to the hospital, I was 125 pounds. I had a blood infection on the verge of death. And I actually died during the surgery, and they brought me back.
They didn't bring you back.
God brought me back.
It wasn't your time, player.
It wasn't my time.
No, because if it's your time, God will yank you on up out there. God says, you know what, I got a little bit more in store for Jeremy.
Absolutely.
He gonna be working the front desk. He gonna handle things. So yeah, God got you out of that mess.
Absolutely.
For sure. When you showed me your arm the first time we were sitting up there at the desk, usually I got some kind of funny quote or I can throw some. It took my breath away.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to say. But keep going.
God had a plan for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And actually, as soon as this healed up, I was right back to it.
Still didn't break you.
The way I thought at this time was once things got bad enough, I would just end it and it would be done. I didn't care what happened to my body. I wasn't happy with myself, and I hated my life. And about 8 years ago, let's see, yeah, it's been close to 8 years ago. Actually, my dad committed suicide, and that really put me in a downward spiral with drinking. For the next year after that, I just drank myself to death. Then got back on the dope, and it got to the point where I took a whole bottle of prescription pills, trying to just end it all, and ended up waking up the next day sick as a dog, and slept for the next about week afterwards. And when I come to Recovery Point the first time, it was either try something different or just I was done. And came to Recovery Point the first time. I was there for about 4 months, and just started having thoughts of getting high, which led to obsessing over it until I left to go get high. And I left for 2 days getting high here in Huntington, and ran into a staff member that worked there at the time. They brought me back, and I was there for another 3 months and left again.
That's 2 times.
Yeah, that's the second time. Then I left again for a few months. That was right when I left the second time. It was right before COVID started. I left, and I spent the next few months getting high, and actually overdosed twice.
Just trying to kill yourself.
I was lucky to make it back this time. But when I did come back this last time, I was dead set on the party's over now. This is what I'm doing. And my goal coming back was also, to work in recovery after I came through the program. So I come through the program this last time. I worked as hard as I could on working on myself and everything, because I seen a lot of things that I needed to work on that I didn't like about myself. A lot of things I still need to work on.
Oh, you won't ever stop working.
No, it's a lifelong process.
That's the good thing about it too. Like while we're there, we're gonna have to work on it. Like you said, a lifetime. It's a lifetime.
It's a lot of
decision.
time.
You're just now building the foundation. It's like with a house. You build a foundation and you add another layer and another level, and you just you'll never be done building. And working on it. But man, both of you guys have, I enjoy coming in and seeing you, talking to you.
Yeah.
God's got after what all y'all been through, if you can sit here and look at me, and look, I'm a sinner just like y'all are, but if you can say that God ain't got a plan for you after what y'all been through and still alive, still
Absolutely.
got a chance, you'll be doing your family, yourselves, a disservice not to pursue sobriety. And I still say you're going to get you a shirt with your name on it.
Oh yeah, and the good thing about that is this place is teaching me where I want to be at. You know, like I see these guys every day. I work with guys every day. I'm I guess a talkative person, a person that like to see
Absolutely.
like to see people do good. You know what I mean? And this is a place for me. You know what I mean? Rehab is where I want to be. You know.
I think that's the best place to build a strong foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got to start somewhere.
You get a strong foundation
Yeah.
coming through that program.
Most of them can't do it on their own. You know, we and we'll close with that. But you know, if we could, we'd have done it to begin with.
I couldn't.
You know, oh no, heck no.
I definitely could.
You know, I was lucky. My rehab and came in the form of my daughter when she was born. You know, and that, that gave me the, you know, when I looked at her, I thought, man, you know, that's all she got. You know, you can't be all jacked up and, you know, die. And, you know, and I made a promise to God that night. I said, look, she's going to put a toe tag on me one day. They gonna put a tag down here, dead, when my time is up, but it ain't gonna be from my nose stuck in a baggie somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know, it just wasn't gonna happen. And by the grace of God, you know, 18 years under my belt come September. But with that being said, man, I love both of you guys. I thank the world of both of you. Thank y'all for allowing me. I'm gonna end it with this. I'm an outsider, you know. I'm not per se employed as a peer mentor or anything like that, but I never would have thought that people like y'all, people like Jeremy and Walt and other people, Larry and Joe, would be my inspiration. You know, I thought, man, I come in here and be a role model to these guys and be a liaison for Walt if he's having trouble with so-and-so. You know, man, y'all lift me up, and there's no motive there. You know, I ain't got no agenda. I never thought it. That's why I come every day. I come in the mornings. I like coming early, shaking hands and saying hello and hugging necks. And what I heard sitting over here today was it tells me that I did the right thing. When I can hear 4 drug addicts, full-blown, full-blown, arteries missing, prison, when I can hear people like that laughing, you know. Sober.
That's what helped me a whole lot. It helped me tremendous. Like you was saying, there's a lot of guys there that I thought that my life was, I can't get out of it. You know what I mean? Right. I'm gonna be doing the same thing. But there's guys there that's done what I've done in my life, that I'm looking at them every day and seeing them every day, and I'm getting a laugh out of them every day.
Absolutely. I done told people.
Bond.
Yes.
I done told people, look, I'm gonna quit telling my story. It ain't even in the level of where most of these guys have been. But man, I love y'all so much. Thank you for doing this. Hey guys, listen, as we always say, if you don't get help at Recovery Point, don't be shy. Go get help somewhere. And make sure, if you could, click the like button, follow button. Pray for these guys. Pray for all of us as they do for you. Because there's somebody out there that's going to watch this and goes, you know what, dang, if Walt can do it, maybe I need to make a call. If Jeremy over there, after all he's been through, can do it, I may need to make the call, make the walk. Don't be ashamed, because, you know, they say, everybody's always talking about, oh, rock bottom. Let me tell you where rock bottom is. 6 feet.
Yeah.
That's rock bottom. Yeah. That's as deep, that's as rock bottom as you can get right there. And we don't nobody to hit rock bottom. Y'all hang with us. Thank y'all so much for watching. And guys, thank y'all so much.
Thank you too.
Man. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Jake. Y'all have a great day. Thanks, Christ Temple, for letting us do this here. Thank you.
Thank you.